खाने और सोने का नाम जीवन नहीं है, जीवन नाम है सदैव आगे बढ़ते रहने की लगन का।
Hello 8th graders. Today I, Ankita, your classmate, along with Suchitra ma'am, will unfold the story The Chess Players, written by well-known writer Munshi Premchand. He is one of the most accomplished Indian writer, well known for his modern Hindi literature. Born in Lami, a village near Varanasi, on July 31, 1880, Dhanpat Rai Srivatsav went on to become one of India's greatest literary figures and was popularly known by his pen name Munshi Premchand. His work such as Seva Sadan, Nirmala, Bade Ghar Ki Beti and short stories including Idga, Kafan and Namak Ka Daroga powerfully depict the society as it prevailed during his time. The title of the story is The Chess Players. Have you played chess or seen somebody play it? Chess is an interesting game that sharpens our mind, and those who start loving the game would naturally play it for a longer duration. The immersion is so deep that one can even call it meditation, as meditation is also defined as focusing on what is at hand or happening in the present.
The story opens in the age of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, the last independent ruler whose kingdom of Awadh was annexed by the British in 1856. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was a generous, kind and compassionate ruler who was also a patron of fine arts in Indian tradition. By the time he succeeded to the throne of Awadh in 1847, a state carved out of the crumbling Mughal Empire, he had already produced works such as The River of Love and The Ocean of Affection. In 1843, he directed a play on the deity Krishna with 4 of his wives playing milkmaids and prancing around the stage. When he annexed the throne, he took keen interest in the administration of justice, introduced reforms and reorganized the military. Yet, the Britishers blamed him as being an inefficient ruler due to his extravagant interest in art and women, and decided to annex his kingdom. It was a way to escape from the large amount of debt that the East India Company owed the ruler. The man who had once ruled a kingdom as large as Scotland became a pensioner of the East India Company, thus reducing his reign to a miniature copy of the past. It was a time of great enjoyment for the rich as well as the poor. Cockfights and kite flying contests were held almost every day. Chess was also becoming a popular game. During the reign of Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, there were 2 Jagirdars, Mirza Sajid Ali and Mir Roshan Ali, who were so much in love with chess that most of their time was spent in planning their moves on the chessboard. They used to have breakfast and start their game until it's time to sleep. I wondered how they earned their living when the entire time of the day was spent playing chess or thinking about its move. They had a lot of inherited properties, and there wasn't any need for them to work hard and earn for their daily living. Each day, their passion towards chess grew deeper and deeper. They would even forget about having food, and their families had to call out to them repeatedly. They would reply that they would be there in a moment and the table could be laid, but still would continue their pursuit. Soon a center of chess wars was opened at Mirza Sajid Ali's home. It was not only their interest but because there wasn't any elder at his home. His wife was never happy with his conduct and routine and growing interest in chess. Her dislike made her wait for a moment in which she can scold Mirza. But he was too smart to save himself. He made sure that battles began while she was asleep. One day, Mirza's wife was feeling unwell and she sent one of her servants to call Mirza, but he did not come to attend to her. Begum felt really angry and she immediately rushed to the living room and yelled at her husband. She even threw some of the chessmen out and bolted the door from inside. Meanwhile, Mir Sahab slowly slipped out of Mirza's house and Mirza followed too. Now they both had shifted their chess playing to Mir's house. This was a sad news for Mir's wife and his servants because their freedom was curtailed and now they had to keep serving them throughout the day. One day, while the two Jagirs were busy playing chess, a horseman in uniform arrived and asked for Mir Sahib. He also left a message that Mir Sahib was required to come to the king's presence, probably because more soldiers were required to fight a war. Both the Jagirs were scared and so decided to shift their play to a more secluded spot where no one could find them. They played so religiously that they only had time to have lunch at a bread seller. The only words they uttered were check, check. Meanwhile, the political scenario of the state was deteriorating and both the Jagirs were totally unaware. Their passion for the game increased so much that they chose to avoid the approaching East India Company officers and continued playing.
In no time, it was announced that Nawab Wazir Ali Shah was captured and taken to some unknown destination. In history, it is among the most rare incidents where not a drop of blood was shed and non-violently the Nawab was taken to the prison. On the contrary, the two most unaffected were fighting over chess. Mirza had lost the game 3 times, increasing his desire for revenge. He felt irritated and started quarreling for silly reasons like Mir was taking too much time to make a move in the game, or that he was changing his moves. The quarrel that started over silly reasons went on to taking bad about their forefathers and family. Very quickly, they both took out their dagger. Now, they were challenging each other's physical strength, and both of them died fighting. No one came to know of their demise apart from the broken arches and minarets. Only the broken arches and minarets kept a watch over their dead bodies and grieved over them. Meanwhile, the British Army took control over Lucknow victoriously. So now you can see how a game that helps develop your thinking capabilities lead to the death of two Jagirs who were too very fond of it. It also teaches us a big lesson that every game or sport must be played with true sportsman spirit. It means even if we lose a game or sport, we must accept the defeat and never feel like taking revenge on the winner. We must always respect and appreciate the contestant or player who won the match. If a wrong attitude builds up in us, it will only end destroying our own life, like it destroyed the life of the Jagirs. Before we end the chapter, Let me also share with you a few thoughts about the game chess. The game in its most ancient form is believed to have originated in northern India in 6th century AD during the Gupta Empire. It was known as Chaturanga, which means the four division, meaning infantry, cavalry, elephantry, and chariotry, represented by the pieces. It then spread to Persia, Europe, and Arab countries, changing from its traditional roles to what it is today. In fact, we can be proud of having an Indian chess grandmaster, Vishwanathan Anand, who became the world champion 5 times.
Now let's have a look at the illustrations and summary done by Ankita. She had enriched our experience of listening to the story by making such appropriate illustrations. She had put enormous efforts, children, into drawing at least 17 pictures depicting the parts of the story. Thank you, Ankita. It's a commendable job. On this note, we take your leave until we meet again with a new story and many more interesting facts. Bye from both of us. Take care.